Hi everyone, it's Daphne here from Tarot on the Deck, uh, with Bear jumping around in here. I intended to do a little reading for everyone about the current energies, and I've just never got around to it. I don't know if I'm a little late now because I think the energies have calmed down a tad, but we've had, all this magnetic storm energy that has brought the northern lights really far south. So a lot more of the globe is getting that interference or new energy coming in. And of course, after the equinox, we had that new moon the next day, sort of right on the equinox point, really. So that was a very volatile time for the moon to be right there on the equinox, and the light was increasing. That's quite big. And yesterday was the first quarter moon, and traditionally the first as the moon comes around from what we've planted, whether consciously or unconsciously, at the new moon, we've moved through it for a week, got to the first quarter square, and it's our check-in time to see how's it going. Is it working? Okay. And that moon, as it came through to make the square to the sun, passed over Mars. So again, there's all this energy in the moon. So this is energy in our emotional bodies, energy in our memories bodies, and also energy to our third eye. So our vision can be, magnified, amplified, and that equally can be scary or pleasurable. So, the nightmare or the bliss. So we need to be calm when there's moon energy about, but all this fire energy, all this Mars, Aries, Mars energy around is disturbing. And of course, moon is to do with sleep time, when we go into that traveling world, and so that too has been disturbed. So when I look at the cards that I drew, I use the Crystal Visions deck because I really like this deck. I do use it a lot for working. It has lots of stories to tell. And so we had a little simple 3-card spread, past, present and future. Okay, and I drew these last night, and with the intention that it would last about 3 days. Okay, so it's just a short, brief insight, hopefully, into what's going on and help if you need it. So this card is the 3 of Wands. Wands, of course, are the magic that we carry within us. So this is an interesting thing to come up to represent our past, particularly as we all seem to be having such disturbed dreams and disturbed nights, and what's happened in the day tends to be going around and around at night, keeping us awake. Criticism and anxiety and did I do the right thing? All those sort of things. Not quite arguments with yourself, but anything could flare into an argument, it seems, at the moment, because there's so much fire around. Arguments aren't bad. Arguments bring awareness. Okay? And this particular card is helping us to synthesize fire and lunar energies. You see the figure here is carrying the moon. She's brought the power of the moon down, and she's shining it. She's beaming it out. And that happens when we have a clear state of mind and clear intentions. Magic, wands, intention. So if there's something we've been trying to do, and somehow the events have come along and disturbed us, okay, this card comes along as an ally to help us. Firstly, what it says, make sure you draw on what you have been good at in the past, what makes you strong, the positive stuff that you've experienced. Don't be trapped by the news and even memories that can get kind of conditioned by the news, because the news will always relate back to other times when it's been just as bad. People are quite keen on telling you, oh yes, but in so and so they did on it, you know. So yeah, look back on the past that was vibrant, that was supportive, that was offering you strength, that was fun. Yeah. And you know, I say this not lightly because I know sometimes that can be quite difficult, but this lunar energy that she has is about our imagination. And so it's those images that we carry with us create a lens like a crystal ball through which we tend to see what's happening to us now and what's going to happen in the future. We only really live in the now. So that crystal ball just reflects what we're carrying. So this is a card saying, make sure you've cleared that road that goes back to your past with good stuff. Fill it with good stuff. Fill it with good memories. Yeah? About how strong and how brave you've been. Yeah? And they're there. Once you've put that intention out, they will cluster around you. Because here we have these spirit allies. Look, we have the lion, which says, you know, you are highborn. You are a sovereign within your realm. And we have a dragon, which says you have every treasure you ever are going to need upon the earth. Yeah, so these are very potent symbols to hold on to. And once you start conjuring, magic wand, conjuring, try to think of 3 things, 3 of wands, 3 things that have brought magic that seemed impossible but were amazing, better than you could have imagined in your life. And go back as far as you need to go back, because that will clear the road for them to come through rather than all the negativities that it's too easy to get with at the moment. So, right, so call upon the established strengths that you have, yeah, and you will find life looks very much more rosy rather than angry. Okay. And the important thing about this is because currently we're all very much shifting energies. Everything is in flux. It's moving about. We can live in the nightmare or the bliss. It's our choice. Yeah. And so here we see that by staying calm, the lunar goddess that we hold creates a portal that through every phase is the same. There is no time. There is just beingness. And being in the right place at the right time, perfectly protected, yeah, because these wolves are our protectors. They make us aware of what we're thinking and feeling. If you're around dogs, you'll know what I'm saying. So these dogs are calm because their mistress is calm. Okay, so those dogs aren't going to go to war. Those dogs are going to stay at home with their mistress, but aware that they're traveling forward, traveling through a portal into something new. Yeah, and that new is being created by whatever we hold in our memory, in our imagination. Okay, and so when we do that, we realize that these 2 cards, when we add them together, that's 18 and that's 3, that makes 21, which is perfection. It's the world card. And so we then start to see the perfection of the world. And indeed we can call on that too. There's no harm in saying everything is perfect. Yeah? All is well. Things like that. They're very transformative, very powerful statements to make, and we have the capacity to do them, but with calm, not with insistence, just with gentle calm. It's using our imagination. Everything's perfect, but it's us that makes it so, and our view. So that in the time ahead, we are very powerfully in control, but not in a controlling way, just in a relaxed, free, I am me way. And that freedom is important because we each have our own magic, yeah? And by using it, we become more aware of how individual and unique it is, yeah? But also how much we are all one. So we have these little floating bubbles here, reminding us that what's true for me is true for you, what's true for you is true for me, if we resonate on the same vibe. And by being yourself, by being freely and openly yourself, you set other people free just by being. There's nothing else needed. We're kind of being made responsible for the whole condition and future of the whole world at the moment. If we don't do it right, then we're going to get it wrong and the whole world's just going to, I don't know, implode or explode or something. Actually, this is a very spiritual kind of vibe because we're using the magic that was born in us. And with that, we are creating something of wonder, you know, something fun, something enjoyable. So, yeah, when we add this card in, okay, we come to 33. And that's a very significant number to Christians because it's the number of Christ, the Christ spirit, Christos, enlightenment. To me, in my tradition, 33 is inspiration. And so when we actually do this, okay, use our imagination, we empower ourselves and Bear, don't dig holes. He likes rearranging the cushions. We empower ourselves, and just by virtue of being that empowered self, other people get liberated and empowered around us. And that inspiration coming in means that our own choices are much better choices. We just choose better automatically almost. We don't have to think about is this or is that and worry about it. We're just inspired and we go forward creatively. Okay. I do hope you find that useful. I do hope actually that all of you are through all the sleepless nights and things. But if you're not, this is a little formula that the tarot was suggesting would be useful. And yes, lots of love to all of you. See you again soon. Bye for now.